Okay, so to get the rate for trial 1, I gotta go look up what is rate. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over to my lab handout and I'm gonna read it. And it looks like I got the wrong lab, so let's go back over to the right lab. It makes a lot of big difference if you're reading the right thing. Chemical formulas, lab handout, kinetics. Okay, so let's go here. And I know what I'm looking for, so I'm just rate. There it is. Rate is equal to minus 1 over 10 times the change in concentration of the hydrogen sulfite over change in time. I'm going to write that over here. I think I can remember that. I'll do it in orange. Okay, so I know what my change in time was for trial 1. It was my average. Let's go ahead and say, put this over here, okay? So I'm going to do it in blue. I'll do the first one in blue. Minus 1/10. And the change in concentration of hydrogen sulfite is the final minus initial, right? Final minus initial, that's what the change is. And the change in time is final minus T initial, which is really just the time that was transpired, right? So let's come down here, let's say minus 1 over 10. And the initial concentration of hydrogen sulfite was, I can tell you what the final was. The final was 0. So that's what we're measuring. And I got that by reading the lab. I read the lab and I found out, hey, when the hydrogen sulfite disappears, we get our color change. So consequently, we got our color change when that concentration was 0. Now, what's this? That's the initial concentration. Let's go back up to trial 1 and see what the initial concentration of hydrogen sulfite was. Here's my hydrogen sulfite. Oops. This was sodium hydrogen sulfite. Made a mistake there. Let me change that. Let's just change that back to it's hydrogen sulfite. It's got a minus charge on it because it's the ion. The sodium's there. It's just a counter ion, right? Okay, let's go back up to the lab and say, aha! In trial 1, our concentration of sodium hydrogen sulfite was 0.004. My initial was 0.004. Okay, and the time that was from table 2. And the time is also in table 2. Let's look at trial 1. And the time is 27.51. That's the change in time. All right, so what does this give me? The rate in trial 1 is, I guess I can do that math. That's not so bad. Minus 1 over 10 times, let's go with this big parentheses, and what was that? Times, it's a negative actually, right? Negative 0.004 divided by 27.51. Okay, so it looks like, wait, why is that not giving it? Maybe it doesn't like that minus right there. Let's try that. Get rid of that. Ooh, that's an ugly number. Okay, well, I think I can read it though. It's going to be 1.454 times 10 to the negative 5. 1.454 times 10 to the negative 5. 1.454 times 10 to the minus 5. And that is going to be in molars per second. Molars per second. Okay, and that's the rate for trial 1. Now let's go with the rate of trial 2. I'm going to go back in a different color. I'm really think this repetition is helpful. It's the change in concentration of sulfite. In trial 2, it was 0 minus the initial. Trial 2, hydrogen sulfite was 0.004 again. Over the change in time. What was the change in time? 13.41 for trial 2. Okay, and so that's going to be equal to, I might still have that number. I do. Look at that. I still have the same number in my calculator. So I'm just going to get rid of that and say 13.41. And it's 2.983 times 10 negative 5. 2.983 times 10 negative 5. 2.9983 times 10 to the minus 5 molars per second. Wow. This is cool. This is about 15, right? 1.5 times 10 negative 5. This is about 30. You see how it doubled? Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Awesome. Wow. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's do trial 3. I'll go with a different color yet. I guess I'll go back and forth between blue and red. Okay, so minus 1/10, and it's going to be 0 minus the initial concentration, which I think in trial 3. Okay, look, in trial 3 we used 0.008. Okay, 0.008, and it was 23.76. Is that right? 0.008 and 23.76. Is that what I said? Nope. I said. All right. 23.76. Okay. Go back to our calculator. And this was 0.008. This was 23.76. It's going to be a long video, isn't it? Okay. So this goes to be, what was it? 3.367. 3.367 times 10 to the minus 5 molars per second. Did I get that right? Yep, 4 zeros times 10 to the negative 5. Okay, now I realize there's a negative here, okay? But what I got rid of that negative here because this whatever this was didn't like it. But really this is a positive number. Rates they're going to be positive, right? It was negative 110 and we're disappearing the stuff. So anyhow. Okay, I'm going to assume you can do that. All right, let's go with trial 4. Let's go back to red. And it's equals minus 1/10. 0 minus, and I think we're back to 0.004 again for the hydrogen sulfite. Let's go back up to table 2. In trial 4, yeah, back to 0.004 for the hydrogen sulfite. And it was 13.28 was the average. And look, it's going to be the same as that one up there. Right, because that was 13.41. Yep, okay, let's go back to it. Back to the 4. 13.28. Okay, and it's 3.012 times 10 negative 5. Beautiful. Ooh, man. Equals what was it? 3.012. 012 times 10 to the minus 5 molars per second. Awesome. Whoa. Love it. Okay, and then we'll do the rate of the last one. Okay, and the rate of the last one, let's go back to blue, to trial 5, minus 1/10. Remember, the concentrations were all the same as trial 1, but the temperature was different, right? So let's go back up and look at this. Where's trial? Where's that table? Here's trial 5. They were all 0.004, and it was 39.87. Okay, and this is going to give us 39.87, 1.003 times 10 to the negative 5. Okay, good. 1.003 times 10 to the minus 5 molars per second. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. What I did was I took that equation, this rate law, and I found the change in concentration of not, I got that wrong, it's not hydrogen sulfite, it is sodium hydrogen sulfite. That's the change of sodium hydrogen sulfite, which was really just 0 minus the initial, because that's what we were looking for. All right, so on to the next video. This was how to calculate the rates. See you in a couple minutes.